Hello everyone. Thank you for joining me on Story Vault. Find a comfortable spot, take a deep breath, and let's begin. Imagine a quiet forest where tall trees stand in silence. Beneath an apple tree, a young man sits alone, deep in thought. In that ordinary moment, something extraordinary happens. Not just for him, but for the entire world. This is the story of Isaac Newton, the man who looked at a falling apple and asked a question that would change how humanity understands the universe. Welcome to Story Vault. It was the year 1642 in a small English village called Woolsthorpe. The world was very different then. No electricity, no cars, no machines to make life easier. People lived by the land, watched the stars, and searched for answers to life's mysteries. On a cold winter day, a tiny baby boy was born. His name was Isaac Newton. He was so small and frail that those around him feared he might not survive. His own mother later said he could have fit inside a large cup. Isaac entered the world quietly, like a whisper. Yet this fragile child would one day reshape our understanding of the cosmos. His father had died months before he was born, so life began with hardship. Isaac grew up mostly with his grandmother. When he was just 3 years old, his mother remarried and moved away, leaving him behind. That separation left a deep mark on the young boy. He grew up feeling lonely. While other children played noisily outdoors, Isaac preferred solitude. He spent hours building small models, tiny windmills, kites, and water clocks. He observed how shadows moved, how water flowed, and how things worked. At school, he wasn't considered exceptional at first. He was quiet and kept to himself. But inside his mind, a powerful curiosity was growing. He looked at everyday things and saw deeper questions no one else seemed to ask. Even through loneliness and difficulty, that gentle curiosity never faded. It would become his greatest strength. As a young man, Newton went to study at Cambridge University. There, he discovered a world that felt like home: mathematics, astronomy, and natural philosophy. He read the works of great thinkers like Galileo and Descartes, studied the stars, and filled notebooks with calculations and ideas. For the first time, he felt he truly belonged. But then, disaster struck. A deadly plague swept across England, forcing the university to close. Students and teachers were sent home. What seemed like a major interruption in his studies became the most important period of his life. Newton returned to the quiet countryside of Woolsthorpe. For nearly 2 years, from 1665 to 1667, he worked in solitude with only his own mind and the natural world around him. In that peaceful isolation, he made groundbreaking discoveries. Using a simple glass prism, he showed that white light is actually made up of many colors. He developed a new branch of mathematics we now know as calculus. And most famously, he began to understand the force that governs the movement of everything in the universe. One day, while sitting in the garden, Newton watched an apple fall from a tree. To most people, it was nothing remarkable, but to him, it was a profound question. Why does the apple fall straight down? Why not upward or sideways? What invisible force pulls it toward the earth? He wondered, if the same force pulls the apple to the ground, could it also reach the moon and the planets? This simple observation led him to develop the theory of universal gravitation. Every object in the universe attracts every other object. When the plague finally ended, Newton returned to Cambridge a transformed man. At just 26 years old, he became a professor. He continued his research, inventing the first reflecting telescope and deepening his understanding of light and motion.